What's going on, TLA family? Welcome to the first show of Finance and Bleeping Tequila. For this one, uh, as you guys well know, I've been a financial advisor. Well, I was a financial advisor for about 9 and 10 years before I went, full time to Tequila Lovers Anonymous. I needed a little hiatus off of taking, hiatus off of talking about money, talking about finance, giving any kind of financial advice and everything. It's a drain. It became a drain on me. So I needed that year off, but I'm back, and I'm here to bring you some great tequila as well. So I'm gonna be talking about Cascaween a little bit as well in here. This is extra añejo. Just have this in my glass right now. So me sipping on this while we talk about finance. So the type of finance we're gonna be talking about, I'm not gonna be giving any, investment tips in terms of actual like stocks and bonds to purchase or mutual funds to purchase, but we're gonna talk about perfecting, like I said, this first episode is going to be perfecting the basics. So we're going to be talking about perfecting the basics, getting your stuff right to start, learning where you should be investing 100%, no questions asked, where you should be investing, and then why where you should be investing after you've already set up these platforms as well. But the first episode is going to be about perfecting the basics. And I know you guys are maybe wondering, okay, where's the different background? How do we know, where's little, pointers shooting out from everywhere? I'm going to keep this first episode basic because I want you guys to, it's about a part of perfecting the basics, which is what this is all about. So I know I keep saying that word and you're asking, okay, what the fuck are the basics? Well, the basics to me are going to be live below your means, number one. Number two, budget. Make sure you have a fucking budget. Number three is going to be discipline. Make sure you are disciplined in your actions. Make sure that you're sticking to that budget. Making sure that you put this discipline to your finances. And I'm going to go into more depth on each one of these. Number four is going to be save. Save for a rainy day. Number five is going to be invest. Invest in multiple different platforms in multiple different ways. So, to go more into depth with this, I need to drink a tequila first. So cheers to everyone that's listening to this. Cheers to everyone that's going to listen to this later and is watching this as well on YouTube. I'm going to be posting little clips here and there onto Instagram, but this is specifically for YouTube and for the TLA podcast. So cheers to you guys. If you haven't had Cascaween Extra Añejo before, you definitely need to go grab it. This was $100 from Marino's Liquor. Man, it's absolutely lovely. But yeah, so let's hop into the first one. As I said, live below your means. Number one, that is the number one rule that I always teach my clients. I always preach to my clients, live below your means. Now, I know, some of my clients, their means was, a fucking $1 million a year. Other ones was, $30,000 a year. So what I mean by living below your means is you look at how much money you're bringing in and you look at your lifestyle. And you need to make sure that your lifestyle fits within the money that you're making and below that. My rule of thumb is always you should be living off of, let me put this caveat. My rules are going to depend on if you are married or if you're single. So I'll break it down like this. If you are married, you should be able to live off of one person's income, meaning that you should either be able to live off your wife's income or you should be able to live off your spouse, your husband's income or, your spouse, no matter, how your family is set up. One of you guys should be able to pay the bills. If one of you guys lose your job, everything should not be lost because you are living above your means. That's the goal. All right. Now, if you are single, you should be living off of 60 to 7% of your of your gross, of your take home pay, meaning that you should look and see every one of your checks, not the gross, not the salary amount where it's saying, $60,000, $70,000. Don't pay attention to that. Look at what you're bringing home. Calculate that out amongst the amount of paychecks that you receive in a year, either it be 24, 26, whatever it may be, or 52 if you get paid weekly. You need to calculate that take-home pay and look at that, project it out over 52 weeks, which 52 weeks is in a year, and then times that by 60 to 70%. That little 60 to 7%, you should say, okay, I should be able to pay my rent or pay my mortgage, pay all my bills, and have some extra fun spending money. If you don't have extra fun spending money, then you need to sit your ass at home, or you need to find some things that you can do that are not expensive. Either going and having a drink at friend's house, or going on drives, going on nature walks, whatever it is that can be within your budget, you should do that. And I'm gonna get to what you're gonna do with that extra, 30 to 40% later. All right. So you should be doing that with your money, living below your means. The reason why is the reason why you should be living below your means is because this is going to keep you from having to live paycheck to paycheck. Because you're going to be building a nest egg to where now you're putting away that 30, 40% of each one of your paychecks in one form or fashion, which is, which I'll talk about later, in one form or fashion to where now if something happens to your job, you don't lose everything. You're not immediately going bankrupt. You're no longer living paycheck to paycheck. You have some breathing room in your life in order for you to do that. So that's number one. You need to set that up immediately. If you don't have it set up right now, you need to set it up right now. Now, I'm also not naive enough to think that everyone can afford to live, 67% of the pay. I'm not dumb. I'm not ignorant to the world that it is. Now, that is just your goal. That's your goal that you want to reach. I know that sometimes life happens and, sometimes you have to live off of 120% of your income, but you have to have goals to work toward. So that first goal you're going to be working toward is going to be living below your means, meaning living within 60 to 7% of your income if you're single, or half of if you have a spouse, if you're able to live off of half of either one of the spouse's income. Now, there are special occasions once something pops up, but we're going to get to that. We're going to circle back to that later in this video or later in this recording. However way you're listening to this, you're joining in with me right now. All right. So number 2 is going to be budgeting. You have to have a budget. You have to have a budget. If you do not have a budget, you do not know where your fucking money is going. You don't. You don't know how to plan it out. You don't know how to cut down your pennies. You don't know how to spend accordingly. Because now if you don't have a budget, then how do you know that your rent is taken care of? How do you know how to properly segment out your rent? How to properly segment out your bills, make sure your bills are paid on time? How do you know how much you have left over to spend in order to put away that 60 to 70, in order to only live off of the 60 to 70%, in order to put away that 30 to 40%. If you don't have a budget, you don't know. You're just fucking throwing shit out there and just hoping that it sticks. You can't do that. You have to have a budget. You need to sit down what you should be doing. Sit down, whatever your per pay is, whatever that take home pay is for yourself and your spouse or yourself, you need to put that up at the top, right? You have your income up at the top. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna list your mortgage or your rent, then your utility bills, your credit card bills, and whatever bills all your bills right there. List them per date. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys, I'll give you guys exactly how to budget. I'm gonna give you guys a budget right now. So if you do not have your pen and paper out, go get a pen and piece of paper, a pen or pencil, something to write this down with. Okay. In the meantime, I'm gonna take another drink of this Cascaween. Yeah, this is delicious. This is absolutely fucking delicious. Um, I paid $99 for this, and it tastes better than some of these 170, 180, $200 bottles that I have in my bar right now. No joke. This is absolutely delicious tequila right here. Do you have your pencil and paper, or your pen and paper, or your laptop, spreadsheet, whatever? You do? All right, we're moving on. All right, so we're going to build a monthly budget first, and then we're gonna build a per pay budget, okay? So the monthly budget, put your monthly income up there. Depending on how often you get paid, whatever your take home pay is, on average, put that at the top, all right? Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna list your mortgage, you're gonna list every single one of your bills that you have, and you're gonna list the dates for each one of them, each one that you have to pay your bills, each one that the due date of each bill, okay? This way you have all the information that you need to now create the per pay budget that we're going to do, okay? You ready? All right, you got this written down? I know you may not have all these dates and everything, but do you have the information written down? That's what I'm asking. If you do, shake your head yes. Oh, okay, I got it. I got you. All right, so now you have that monthly budget. Now what you need to do is get another spreadsheet open, Microsoft Excel, whatever it is that you use, even if it's pencil and paper, get it down. You need to put the dates, the actual dates of your per pay for the next year, or at least the next 4 months. Put that per pay down. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put down how much, what's the average of each one of your checks gonna be that you can feel confident knowing that you're gonna make at least this on this check. Put that down up front, okay? Now that you have the date there, what you're gonna do with your bills is now you're gonna take those bills and you're going to organize them into your budget by date. First up, when your mortgage or your rent or your car payment, what you're gonna do is, as long as we can get it to where it falls within, to where you're gonna be able to pay this off before the due date, you're going to save half of each one of those big bills that that this is the amount every month. You're gonna save half out of every single check that you have, okay? So you're gonna put down half of your half of your rent or your mortgage, half of your car note if you have one, and you're gonna put that down for every single pay, all right? So now what you're gonna do is, it's gonna take a little bit of math, but you're gonna look at your bills, the rest of your bills, and you're gonna organize them to where your bills will get paid. Sorry, I got a little nose itch. Your bills will get paid within the time frame of that due date that you have. Within the time frame of before the due date, and within the time frame of that paycheck. Meaning that if you get paid on the 15th and this bill is due on the 27th, you are paying this bill on here, right? Now we got to make sure that it fits within this time frame. So the math that you're going to have to try to do is, on your per pay per month, you want to have those bills and your rent or mortgage and car note coming out at the same, you want to have it even up. The negatives, the bills that you have in paying out of each paycheck, you want to have them as even as possible, to where now your disposable income that you have left out of each paycheck is as much as the same as possible. Okay? You know what I'm saying? If you don't get what I'm saying, ask the question and I'll clarify it in the comment section, or DM me, whatever, and I'll clarify it more. But once it's even and you paid all your bills, now you have what I would say, your net left over, your net money left over, right? Either it be, $600, $500, $200, whatever it may be. Now, out of that, you're going to put away 10% of that for savings. 10%, whatever that is, if it's $20, $15, whatever, put it away for savings. Now we're starting to go into, step number 3. Well, not step number 3, step number 4, if I remember correctly. You guys go back and you know what I'm talking about. It all blend in together here. All right? Because what I'm also going into right now is discipline. Stay in discipline. But what it is, you're going to have to go in, you're going to do this for every single paycheck. Every single paycheck is this amount. Every single paycheck, this is going to be disposable income. And what that's also going to do is when you have those unexpected bills pop up now, or those car repairs, whatever like that, you're more prepared for it because hey, I have this much coming out every single paycheck and I have this much left over every single paycheck. So now I have a better idea on handling how I can pay for these pop-ups, like needing new brakes or new tires, whatever it may be. You have those unexpected bills. You have the money that you have a better understanding of when you can pay for those type of things, right? So now you have your income left over, right? You have your disposable income that you have saying, okay, now I have, like I said, $500, $400, $200, whatever it may be. Now I'm going to say, hey, let me stay disciplined with this every single paycheck. Every single paycheck, I'm going to stay disciplined with this. I have this 30 to 40% left over from after paying my bills, making sure I can live, making sure everything is set to go. I have my 30 or 40% left over that now I can sit here and say, this chunk right here is what I really need to stay disciplined with, and it's going to make all the difference in the world when it comes to my finances, right? That 30 to 40% or whatever it is left over, that $200, $300, whatever it may be, in some cases, $5,000, $10,000, just depends on your wealth level. But whatever that is left over, this is where that discipline comes in, because now your bills are paid. You want to go out, you want to enjoy it, you worked your ass off for that money. Now you want to go out and enjoy it, but you can't do it yet because you have not put away money for savings. You have not put away money to make sure that you're growing your wealth, right? Now, I know you guys are saying, after I said that, you guys are saying, well, what about your 401k, your 403b, your Roth, whatever it may be? We'll get to that later, okay? That's the reason why I distinguish the difference between your take-home pay and your gross pay. There's a difference, guys. We'll get to that in a later episode, all right? But this 30 or 40% that we're hoping that you have left over for after paying all your bills from your take-home pay. Now, this is where you really want to excel your savings. This is what's going to make a difference between you living paycheck to paycheck and you having that breath of fresh air, you having that emergency fund, you having that money that you can fall back on, that what I like to call fuck it money or fuck you money, so to say. Meaning, if you have this money stashed away in your savings account or your brokerage account or whatever it may be, and if say you're not loving your job or whatever, or you just want to go ball out one week because it's just been a long week or whatever, you can dip into that fund. Or you lose your job, whatever, you have this fund over here to dip into. Now you don't have, like, if something happens with your paycheck, you have something to float yourself. You have something to survive on until you can find another paycheck. So this is where those savings come in. So what I said, like I said before, out of that money, you should be taking at least 10% and putting it over into a savings account, something that you have easy access to, quickly, within a day or two, if not within minutes. You need to be putting money into your savings account, and then we'll talk more about brokerage accounts, Roth IRA, stuff like that later in the series. But we're just talking about savings account right now. Your rainy day fund. You need to be putting 10% of that disposable income, that that 30 to 40% that you have left over that you're not living off of, that you should be putting away. So now you have 20 to 30% left over to just go have fun, enjoy life, So so that's what you have. So you have your savings. So as I say, you have your budget. You have your you're living below your means. Sorry, I'm a little rambling on here, and I don't have it written down, so it's all going off the top of the head. So excuse me if I'm sound like I'm rambling on. I should have my laptop open and make sure that I go back to my notes to keep it on track. But fuck it. You guys you'll get the hint. Listen to it a couple times, you'll be able to understand what I'm saying. But you're living below your means. You are budgeting. You are staying disciplined. You are saving. So now you are. I forgot the fifth one, but from what I said, but you're good to go. You're good to go. You're able to start to now look and say, hey, I can now go and invest a little bit of this 20%. Now I can go and open up a Roth IRA. Now I can go and open up a brokerage account in order to have a fund to where now if I want to take 5% or whatever, I can go and open up a business and start to invest in my business with this 20% that I have left over. You can start Tequila Lovers Anonymous, your own Tequila Lovers Anonymous, because you can't have mine. You can start your own business. You can invest in a brokerage account. You can invest in some business that you're looking for or you're looking at, or you can start to save up for that business or save up for a vacation or whatever it may be. But you have that that 20 to 30% that is just fun money, But you want to start to invest in something that's going to generate. What I would recommend, invest in something that's going to generate more wealth that is also easily accessible to you. Meaning a brokerage account, after-tax brokerage account, a Roth IRA, even a money market account. It may do that. Or say you invest in a business and now you have a certain business that's going to be able to bring you, it's going to produce even more income to supplement that 30 or 40% that you have left over. And now your bucket of fuck it money or your bucket of money goes up even more, and you can accelerate all of this. Your budget can be wider. You can increase your budget. You can increase your lifestyle. You can increase everything. But what it all circles back to is living below your means to start off with, having a great game plan to start, executing that game plan, staying disciplined with that game plan, and and making sure that you are not going crazy and you know where your money is going. You know where your money is at all times. You have a great idea on what you can spend money on, what you can't spend money on. You have a great idea on you have a great track. You can look at your finances. You can look and see, hey, this is where I'll be. You can project out. This is where I'll be in 2 years or 3 years if I'm still at this job and I'm still at this income level. This is what I can project out and know that, hey, I have this much money. I'm doing this. I can do this, and now your wealth is starting to build, and you can get to the next level, which I will be talking about on next Monday. And trust me, it will not be this rambled up, because I'm also going to perfect the basics of this, put it in my little handy dandy MacBook here, make sure I have my little presentation over here to the side, and I'll improve my little background here and there. But I just want to come on here and talk to you guys about just sticking to the basics of finance, perfecting the basics of finance, and then you'll be able to move on to higher levels, higher investing, and you'll start to see yourself climbing those tax brackets and that wealth level in no time. It really does truly make a huge difference in your financial well-being and your financial standings in life. It may not seem like it to start. It may seem hard as fuck, but that's what that discipline is for. You have to sit there and say, look, I did this right. I'm seeing my, even if it's, even if you're just seeing your account grow by $25 every paycheck, or $50 every paycheck. It's more than what you had if you wouldn't have budgeted. It's more than what you're at a higher wealth level than if you would have said, fuck it, and just stay with the old system that you had before, where you weren't putting any money away. So stay disciplined, stay on track, keep tracking your status, because that's another good thing about budgeting is you can start to see your wealth grow. You can start to see that number grow. You can start to have, as you start to see tens go to 20s to 50s to hundreds to thousands, that your confidence grows. You have more options in life. Your lifestyle can increase, and you can just breathe more. It is so much better to have money that you can fall back on, and just be able to just have a rainy day fun, and just don't have to worry about being on a paycheck to paycheck basis of living. Then you have to spend every single penny just to live, and it's just it's about your approach. It's about your approach to money. It's about your approach to this whole financial game. There is an approach that works, but if you don't have one, you will not win. You will not win. At some point, it's going to catch up to you. All right? So take another sip of this Cascaween. This bottle right here, amazing bottle. I need another one. You see, I'm almost done with this. I need to go grab another one. I'm going to go grab another one here kind of soon. But this is tequila. I'm sorry, this is Finance and Bleeping Tequila, fucking tequila. It's a journey. Finance is a journey. Finding a great tequila is a bit of a journey. But if you listen here, you listen to this show right here, you're going to learn finance. You're going to learn better tequila, because all I'm going to do is talk about Top Shelf Tequila on here. So I'm not going to give any descriptions. I'm just going to tell you to go and grab the fucking bottle. And I'm also going to tell you to rewind this, replay this, and get your finances down, man. Send me a DM or whatever it may be. If you have any other outstanding questions, I'll be glad to answer, as long as they're not specific investment questions. I'll be glad to answer for you guys. And just enjoy your day. Start to, let me leave you with a little bit of tidbit that that one of my wealthier clients and one of my one of the clients that became a friend and family outside of this, said to me, this one tidbit that they said to me was, so this my client's mother, when she passed away, had nearly $1 million, but he thought she was broke, but he shared the story with me that he asked her one time, because he kind of found out a little bit about his mom's wealth when he was going through a divorce. But he asked his mom, he said, what did you learn about finance? And his mom told him, well, son, do you remember that corner store that I used to go to all the time to get all our groceries and everything? And he's like, yeah. She's like, well, one of the first things I asked the gentleman that owned the corner store, because I knew he was wealthy. I knew he had money, but he still worked every single day. One of the things I asked him was, how do you build wealth? And what he told her was, if you take care of the pennies, the dollars will take care of themselves. Once again, if you take care of the pennies, the dollars will take care of themselves. Think about it, guys. Go get your bottle of Coscoine. It's absolutely amazing. Love you guys. Catch you again next Monday for another Finance and Bleeping Tequila. Play this a couple times. If you didn't get the budgeting tips, play it a couple times. Pause it. Listen to it more. I know I rambled a little bit, but keep replaying it. You'll get it all. But until next time, guys. Cheers. Love you guys. Have a good night.